Welcome back, guys, to part 2 of the LCR podcast, or if this is...
I have no idea how this layout's going to be out,
Yeah.
so I apologize.
This is
because
the
you are all probably just as
second-
confused as me.
Yes, this is the second initial reaction in the same podcast. We are reacting to Ad Astra,
To the stars.
to the stars, with Brad Pitt and Tommy Lee Jones.
And Donald Sutherland, which I recognize the name but not the face, and I'm so sorry, Mr. Sutherland.
Yeah, I would say the third actor would either be him or what's her face from Lord of the Rings and Incredible Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
I keep forgetting
Jennifer
she's in...
Connelly. I don't know.
Maybe?
I don't know.
Or was she the one that was in Alita? Stuff that we should have researched before. But if you guys are listening to this, watching this, this is either part of our initial reaction for Ad Astra, a part of the Lights Camera Reaction podcast, which will be coming up the next day. You find it yet?
I'm still looking.
Okay. We were going to have an initial reaction to Rambo, but that will unfortunately be podcast specific. Got it?
No, I'm just...
Oh my god, it's taking so long. But Ad Astra was great.
Oh, my God. The Incredible Hulk came out in 2008.
Yeah.
So long.
It was the second MCU movie, right? Iron Man came first?
Liv Tyler? That doesn't sound right.
Eh,
Yeah, fuck,
maybe.
that's her.
Yeah, Liv Tyler. So Ad Astra
That's a
with
bad
Brad Pitt,
picture.
Tommy Lee Jones, Liv Tyler, and
Yeah.
Donald Sutherland.
The main
Got
focus
it.
was Brad Pitt, and
Of course.
everybody else was just kind of in the background a little bit.
I knew it. I think we all expected it. Tommy Lee Jones doesn't have too much screen time.
Yeah.
Kind of saw that from the trailers. Do wish there was a little bit more of him. Probably my biggest gripe of the movie, honestly. But
I thought we got a good
small
amount of
gripe.
him.
Yeah. I just love that man. He hasn't been in that much lately, so I want to see more of him.
He's old.
Yeah. And they admit that he probably doesn't look as old as he does in this movie. He looks old in this movie.
I feel like
They probably made him look.
when we finally
lot.
see him like face to face, that's how he actually looks.
Spoiler.
Not really.
Yeah. You kind of assume that we're going to see him at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of this movie, it blew me away. I was taken.
I thought you were really excited. Like you were somewhat excited going into this. I was ecstatic.
I'm always excited to see a movie. I mean, movies are just great.
Not
They're-
saying you
they're a
weren't
lot of fun.
excited. I just thought you seemed more excited like when the trailers came out. And then today when I asked you, you were like, "Yeah, I'm excited."
Yeah, I don't know. I saw the trailers and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
looks interesting. And I mean, I've always been a big slut for space.
So cool. Yeah, what did you say to me when the credits hit? What'd you lean over and say?
I don't know what that was.
I hope if people could hear that stomach gargle
That was in my throat.
or that throat gargle.
What did I say?
You said easy top 10 for the year.
Oh yeah, definitely. I didn't know if that's what you're referring to or not.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there were 3 things that popped in through my head as I was watching this movie. I love this movie. It's visually fantastic.
It was beautiful. We haven't
Yeah.
gotten into that.
Easily, like you said, in my top 10 for probably the whole year.
Yeah.
And then I would definitely watch this again,
Yeah.
which is not something I do for a lot of movies just because I feel like it just takes up time.
Especially right away. It's easier to say that like a month later when you're like, I've forgotten
Yeah.
a good amount. But like, would you say like within a week or a few weeks?
Within like a 2-week time frame.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Yeah, just like you said, this movie is gorgeous.
Oh my God, yes.
So beautiful.
I really want to know how they filmed it because
Yeah.
you see so many different planets and so many different stars. And
Like how do you go about composing your shot? I think
Right?
I think it really just falls into the director of like, if you know what you want to see, then you already know how it should look.
yeah,
Like there's the shot where he's like looking at the ship from a certain planet, and it goes from him in the foreground to zooming into the spacecraft.
yeah,
Like that's all got to be majority green screen. So it's like, how do you compose that shot and then the camera movement, you know?
yeah.
Or is that all artificial and done in the program?
Yeah, I mean, even like just the first shot when we see the Earth, you're like, whew, that is amazing. And we live there.
I loved they really like glares. More so than
Yeah, I noticed that too. There was like that like one little circle, right, like kind of like roughly in the same space.
yeah.
And it changed colors throughout the movie.
I
like,
really
it disappeared, obviously.
I
but-
really liked. Did you catch like that first like we got that tilt glare
Yeah.
at the very beginning? Do you see the quick shot of Brad Pitt's reflection?
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to do that.
It was pretty cool.
That's a neat little detail. I think that definitely tops my like favorite openings as far as space movies, because my favorite has always been somewhat of a mediocre movie, Passengers. Did you ever see it?
No.
It was really cool. Space movie, starts with the stars. And I think there's like a twinkle and then one of the stars just turns into the ship. Like as it's coming in. So like that's very cool.
Yeah.
And so just that slow transition was really nice. A lot of cool transitions with stars.
Yeah.
Nice here and there.
Also, one thing that I just really loved about this movie was that I was just, I won't say too much, but Brad Pitt is just
Brad Pitt.
calm the entire movie.
Yeah, they even like get into that.
Sideways, things go upside down. I mean,
All over the place.
They respond to a Mayday call. I won't go in any farther than that because I want you guys to go and experience this, but he is just cool, calm, and
There's no way
collective.
you can predict what's going on with that Mayday scene, you know?
Yeah, but also it's just like you don't know what's coming next because
Yeah.
I will admit this movie's a little slow, not in a bad way,
Mm-hmm.
because give it 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes from like a slow part, something will just happen and you'll be like, huh.
And a lot of the slowness is it's buildup. It's to enjoy what you're looking at because this this movie's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so it gives us time to just like look at everything, listen to everything. The music was amazing.
nice too, yeah.
I'm definitely getting the soundtrack to this if it's possible because I really enjoyed it. Shoot, what was I gonna say? This was a very psychological movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Did not see that coming.
a lot of emphasis on that with Brad Pitt.
Like, because this movie is purely about him.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, this movie is just, it's something that you just kind of think about after watching it for a little bit.
That's why I do think like a second viewing would really help let that stuff kind of like marinate and sit in with you.
Yeah. I can't wait to like actually like get into this in like the podcast and like talk
Yeah.
about spoilers and stuff.
Scene by scene.
Because I mean, like there are definitely some things that just,
There's some shocking things too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I really don't want to say any more because I mean it's hard to say a little without spoiling a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, this movie was amazing. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Definitely worth a Dolby price.
Oh, yes. Even though we get it for technically free because we have A-List. Get A-List if you live by an AMC theater.
Yes.
It's insanely affordable.
This is not a paid advertisement. We just love A-List that
Yeah.
much.
I wish we were paid to say that. I just want my A-List to be paid for. I would take that sponsorship, you know?
Yeah, that'd be dope. I mean,
It's
just
definitely on the cheaper side of sponsorships,
Yeah.
not thousands of dollars. It's like, hey, we'll pay your membership fee. Yeah, this is a great movie. Like I said, I'll have to think about it a little more. This might be my favorite space movie of all time. I'm not going to count Star Wars because Star Wars isn't really space.
That's
There's
another
space
thing.
segments.
the realism in this movie was amazing
Yes.
because there were
Thank you
some
for
scenes.
bringing that up.
I'll say the moon, like on the moon, because the
Yeah,
moon,
we see it in the trailer.
Yes. There are things that are happening, and I'm not going to say a whole lot, but there are things that happen, and some of those instances create sound, and some of those do not. It just kind of depends on how the sound would bounce off of objects in
Like,
reality,
yeah,
basically.
sound doesn't travel through a vacuum.
Right.
Like when you hear an explosion in space, you're not supposed to hear it.
Yeah. And so like,
Because
there
you
was
would.
just a lot of that stuff. Like when they were in space, it was just silent. Mm-hmm. And then like,
You would hear things through like vibration in
Yeah.
like the suit.
yeah.
So like
And-
stuff that makes sense.
Yeah, so like some things were like muffled and other things were just completely silent, and you just saw them happening, and you're just like, okay, this is realistic.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like they actually kind of took the time to just sit down and walk through step by step, like, okay, this happens, and then this, and then that sets off this, and then that creates a sound. This doesn't.
I do hope, I think they actually do this in movies like this. They have like a special person come in, like a physicist, and be like, hey, does this make sense? And
Yeah.
Yeah, checks out. I really enjoy seeing. Do you know Neil deGrasse Tyson? More of popular astrophysicist.
Of course I fucking know him.
I'm just making sure.
He was actually on an episode of Regular Show.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, and he's also on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
So you know him. You've heard of him at least.
Yeah.
What was he in the Regular Show?
He basically just played himself.
Really?
But
that's funny.
they went through like a wormhole, I believe, and they were just like, one of two things is going to happen. We're going to be like stretched into like very thin existence, and we're getting off topic, but I'm just going to, we're just going to end it off on this.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get stretched into really thin, molecules and everything. It'll be called spaghettification.
I might have seen this. That sounds familiar.
And then otherwise, the other option is that we just wind up somewhere else. And so they go through this wormhole, and they end up becoming spaghettified, and they're like literally just strands of spaghetti with like faces on it.
Spaghetti.
And Pops is a meatball because he's got a big,
of course,
big round head.
He already has like a noodle body.
Yeah. And then, it turns out they're just a plate of spaghetti on Neil deGrasse Tyson's table, and he just starts eating them.
A plate of spaghetti is the plate of existence. Oh my God.
I think that's a good way
Shout
to
out
end
the
it.
Regular Show. Well, I brought up Neil deGrasse Tyson because he likes to criticize the realism of these movies.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't make sense. So I'm excited to see what he says about this movie.
Yeah.
If he has not already said it. But that does it for our initial thoughts and reaction to this. We will continue going on to our podcast where we dive deep into... Well, first, you guys already recorded your Rambo section of the podcast, so that's going to jump to that. And then right after that, we're going to get into some spoilery stuff. Not much to spoil, but more to discuss and whatnot of the Ad Astra portion. This is a very weird podcast. All over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, no way in it, but we'll be right back, guys.
Bye.
Bye.